Welcome and to today's Sabassembler. As you all know, today we have another Moducase assembly video, which I'm really excited to show you. And once again, thank you to all my supporters and thank you to all Sabassemblers and other fellow collectors. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please don't forget to do so. And okay, as you already know, I have another Mojicase unboxing video, and this time I have for you something totally new, also new for me. It's the Mojicase drawer, and for my new Mojicases, I've just planned to add 2 drawers underneath two max 140 Mojicases, and I'll be making a separate video for the max 140s, which is also something new for me. And let's just start with the Mojicase drawers. Okay, one of these Mojicases drawers comes with one of these small boxes, and I believe you have to assemble these. And I'll just put this plastic paper away, and so let's just start with unboxing it and see what's inside it. And the box comes in a very relatively slim box, but it is actually relatively heavy. So let's open these, and inside we get these Mojicase metal bars. I believe these are 4 single line bars. And let's see what else we have inside here. So we have these other cases with all the other usual extras, like the screws and the screwdrivers. Let's put these aside too. And inside we have this wooden cases, I believe, which are the frames. And we have another one of these, and another one. And on the inside we have one metal frame. I believe this is the grip to pull the drawers in and out. And here we have, I believe this should be the front wooden frame for the drawer. And let's put that one aside here. And we have, I believe, these are the metal frame for the whole cases. We have the middle, and these metal drawers which pull in and out. We have one for each side. So let's put this aside here. And on the inside we have one of these cardboard or wooden cases, frames or cases, whatever you want to call it, and another larger wooden case. Okay, so we've unboxed all these things, and so as far as I know, we have all these things. First, we should be, I guess, unboxing these metal bars. And let's just take these out first. have 4 of these, I believe, like single line bars, as you might have seen from other Moducases, and you get 4 of these. I believe these are for the general frame of the drawer. So let's just put this one aside and so I believe to get started we should be using we should be starting off with the outside case metal frame, and just to make clear, like the side which is closest where they have the metal, when we have the metal lane to the front, is actually the front side, and just to make that clear. So to get started off, I don't know, like this is something new I believe, but in old days I think Mojicase used to add the screws already included in the bars, but in this case that's not the case, so I believe we'll have to do that ourselves. So you get these larger, like long screws, and these metal washers. So to get started off, you just have to, unbox these, and I just add one of these washers into the screw and just, screw these into the sides of these metal bars. And so probably you should just take your time first and put these screws in before you get started into all the metal bars. And I believe you have to add one to each side. It's the first time actually I see that Mojicase doesn't put these in beforehand, and up to now they always already added these in. But as I said, don't forget this metal ring, or also called washer I believe. So we're done with all 4 metal bars, adding in the screws with the washers, and now we can continue to the next step, which would be adding in from the bottom into the outer corner, to the corner, and with the washer you could just add the screws into the slots and just put these in, and then just screw these together through the hole, and just make sure everything is aligned nice and flush. You can go over your fingers over to the sides then to make sure that the bar is nice and straight with the bottom of the frame, and just make sure and just tighten the screws to the maximum, and continue that, and then just continue the same thing with the bottom.
ድምድም አታመው ድምድም ድምድም ወደ ጎጃም ግድም ድምድም ወደ ጎንደር ግድም ድምድም ወደ ራያ ግድም ድምድም አታመው ድምድም ድምድም ባለ እንግዲህ አገልግም።
We have everything nice and straight, so this would be the side of the frame, and the front here would be at the front of the drawer. And so next I believe would be second drawer, the inside, and again make sure that the washers are included in the slots. I believe that's very important. So we have the bottom part of the metal frame already assembled, and next part I believe would be to add this cardboard frame into the back of the wooden, of the metal case, and I believe you can decide whether you want the black or white side. I would personally put the white side on the inside and black outside, but that's just personal preference, and just make sure everything is nice and all the way inside the slots. And next would be just to close the cases with the next metal bar, and again put in the heads of the top of the screws with the washers into the slots. And so already here we have almost half a case already assembled, and next it would just be the last metal bar, and just add this one here in the front. So now we have the metal case ready assembled, and we can just put this one aside for now and continue with the next step. I actually made a mistake. I wasn't aware that there's actually a left and right side for these side wooden frames. So what you have to pay attention to is that the side where, if you're looking at it from the way I'm looking at it, the one, if the small hole for the connection of the frames of the rails is closer on the left side, then it has to be for the right side if you're looking at it from where I'm looking at it. And if it's closer on the right side, then it's for the left side of the drawer. So that's just something you'll have to pay attention to. That's something I wasn't aware of before, but well, you learn from your mistakes. So that's just something you should pay attention to. So I believe we start off with the next part with the front piece of the drawer. You can see that with this one is, I believe, the largest piece, which has another wooden frame connected to it and on the inside, and you hold this one on the front, and I believe you take one of these. Oh, this one seems to be a little bit damaged, but I believe it's not that bad. So you just, for this part, you'll need, I believe you have two of these wooden frames with the two holes for the screws. For this part you will need these large screws with the silver colored ones. You get two different kinds of screws on this one. You have these other smaller screws with kind of gold kind of color, but for this ones you'll be needing the large screws. And next step would be to hold the holes next to the, I believe here next to, you have already like two holes connected on the inside of the inside metal bar, and you have to hold the holes like parallel to these, and just maybe to help you, just add one of these screws already inside and hold it against to this one, and use this driver to connect it to it, and just screw it tight. And I believe the next step would be to use the other metal bar, which has the ongoing slot that goes all the way through, and also has the two holes on the side, and just connect this again. Just repeat technically the same thing on the bottom with the other metal screws here, and just use the driver again to so I believe the next step would be to use this wooden plate and just add it into the wooden frame like this, and just make sure it's inside. The next step would be just to technically just close the wooden frame and for both sides, and again use these screws to connect the parts. Okay, we're done with the actual drawer, and the next step would be to connect the drawer to the rails, and for that we'll need these small like gold color screws with the cross shape, and for that you'll have to pay attention, like on the side, on both sides we have these very small fine holes which we have to connect with the holes on the sides of these rails. So what you'll have to do is just fit the drawer in and align the holes, and just push these rails to the very side, to the ultimate side, and align these and align them until you can see the holes for the screws, and then just add the screws inside and attach those. So now we've attached the drawer, and it goes, everything should go in and out. Should go in and out fine. So the last thing missing is the grip for the drawer, and for the drawer you have this metal bar with two holes, and these two holes go inside here, right on the back of the front side. You have also again two small holes, just like on the side of the drawer, and for those again you just use these golden color screws and when you just have to align the holes to the holes, and then just screw these in, and so there we have your Moducase drawer, and which comes with this nice handle and comes nicely in and out, and for the money I believe this is a really nice thing, and I'll see how to use these in the future. So I actually have, what I planned was to use a Mojicase Max 140 and put two of these next to each other, and one Max 140 or two Max 140s on top, and we'll see how that's gonna work out. So I'll just show you later on how I'll be attaching those two together, and I'll see what this looks like. This looks really nice, and I've already assembled one before, and this looks pretty good. If like me you have some, I don't know if you have a wooden floor, you might want to use these plastic what's it, add-ons or legs, so the metal bars don't actually scratch your floor. So I just want to add these on the bottom, and that might be pretty helpful just to protect your floor. And I really think this is a nice thing that Mojicase adds these onto you, adds these on and helps you protect your floors. And that's just one thing I just wanted to add to today's show. Welcome and Dumralachu to today's Sabassembler, my fellow Sabassemblers and other fellow collectors. As you know, today we have another Moducase assembly video, and this time we have something that's new for me too. It's the customized Mojicase Max 140. Technically the way it works just like a regular Max 140, only that I asked them to make it a little bit taller for me than the regular one, because I needed more space for my XM Studios Transformer statues. So, but the basic way assembly is just like within a normal Max 140, so I hope this video will be helpful for anyone else who's planning to buy one of these and needs help to assemble these. So as you can see, this thing comes in this huge box. It's almost as tall as I am, but it's, you can see, relatively thin, but it's extremely heavy, I can tell you that. So if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to hit the like button, and definitely don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I appreciate that, since we're still trying to get the 1,000 subscribers, and we're doing very well. Thanks again for all my other supporters. So let's continue with the video and see what's inside this box and how we're gonna assemble this Mojicase Max 140. So first, let's open all the tape on the sides, and then continue with that. So if anyone still is planning to get a Mojicase, I can tell you guys, they are very helpful and a great way, one of the best ways I believe, to display your statues, and up to now I'm very happy with these. And if anyone still needs help to assemble these videos, please, I'll leave a link to my other previous video of the Mojicase assembly video for previous ones, and you can watch those. I hope they will be helpful. And let's then continue with this. And First, let's just put this box down on the ground.
መላየለው መላልክ መላየኔስ ነገር እስኪ ሻል ቢለኝ አባይን ልሻገር መላየለው መላልክ
As I said, this is a really heavy box, and for this one you might even need someone to help you, possibly. It has a lot of cardboard wrapping on the inside. Here we have two parts of the inside cardboard cases. We have a longer one and a more square shaped one for the top. Let's just put these aside for now. And we have another set of those right here. Inside we have these are the longest bars for the back of the frame, one of the top and one of the bottom. Let's just take out all the metal bars that are on the inside, and here we have another set for the side frames, and here we have a double set for the bottom bars. I can tell you from my experience, I've already assembled one. These Max 140s are a little bit more complicated to assemble together than the other one, like the other Max 150s or 70s, just simply because of one step. You have these extra middle, bottom and top bars. You have to add on to put these together, but I'll get back to that later on. So let's see what else inside. We have this other bag which includes all the screws and screwdrivers as usual. Okay, so the first step, I believe, with these 140s is to connect the longest bars. As I said, they're labeled back frame, top and bottom bar, and these are easy to see because they're just the longest ones in the box. And another easy way to know them, to see them, is because they have, one of them has two holes on the side and one of them has one hole, and more to that later on. So for these bars, something I've realized recently is that Mojicase doesn't add the screws in on the side already. I mean, like, they're not added already. Previously, you have to put that by yourself. That's, I think, a shame, because it just makes it more work for us, and possibly it's some people might also forget to add the washers maybe in on the extra side. So to help you guys out, we have to add on I believe, where are the washers here? Before you get started, you should just add on these screws on the side first, and don't forget these small metal rings. I believe they're called washers.
መላየኔስ ፍቅር እስኪ መላ ባገኝ ጭሙጋን ልሻገር
And for this large bar you'll need, I believe, 2 on each side. So we're done with the first bar, and we have, I believe this should be the top bar, and you know it's the top bar because from the side it has only one hole in the middle one, and for that we should be taking out the back, what's it, the top bar that says, I mean, this single packed bar, like I believe this is the shorter single packed one, and this one also says like top middle bar, and this one should be the one to connect in the middle of this long bar that we have here. And for this one, for this bar, you should only be adding only one screw, because for the front frame where it comes assembled, and one of these screws is already inside there, so just add one screw for this middle bar. That's just something I'd like to mention beforehand. So now just add this screw with the washer into the slot where you can see one hole here in the middle, and push it down all the way till you reach the hole, and through the hole of the other side. Just use their screwdriver and tighten it as much as possible, and for sure make sure that everything is nice and straight, aligned. So this is, I believe, the first part. So once you have this assembled, you can just put this one aside and continue with the next part, which is the other longer bar with the 2 holes. and just add the screws again with just like with the previous one, and definitely don't forget these metal rings. Okay, we have all the screws on the sides already added on, and next, since this is the bottom bar with the 2 holes, we just need to add on the equivalent bars, which are these ones right here, the one that says bottom middle bar, and just have to first take these out of and for these ones again, we just like with the top middle bar, just add 1 hole for each one. I mean, just add 1 screw for each one, sorry, not 1 hole. Put these down. So next what you do is, just like with the previous one, just put the screws down into the holes until you reach the holes, and tighten the screws, and again make sure all the bars are aligned straight, and tighten the screws just like that, and well, logically just repeat the same thing for the second hole. We've added those 2 bars. We have here the bottom bar with the two bars, and the top one with the single bar, which kind of makes sense because the bottom one has to carry the statues, so that's kind of logical. Okay, well, the next step would be to take your back side bars. These are the bars that should be as long as the height of your 140 units, and you take these and I would start with the bottom part you've already connected with the two like horizontal bars, and then just take the bar and connect it to the side into the rail with the 2 holes, and connect your screws, and just slide these with the washers into your other bar. So we've connected the side bar with the bottom bar, so said just make sure everything is nice and straight, and the direction you want to put these in is just let the bottom bars look upwards, so the bottom side, so you have this bottom rail space below, and so the next step would be to connect the top horizontal bar in.
እስኪ ተወኝ ሐኪም አጉል አታድክመኝ፣ ምን ብዬ ነግሬህ ምን ብለህ ታክመኝ? ምን ተሰማህ ብሎን ምንድነው ጥያቄ? ምን እንደሚሰማኝ እኔስ ምን አውቄ? አፈሩ ነጭ ጤፍ መሬቱ ሸጋ አብቃይ፣ አየሩ እንደ ዋግምት የጎኑ ጋት ነቃይ፣ እግሬ እንደረገጠ የአባይ ማዶን ዳገት የኖረብኝ ህመም ይቶኛል ድንገት። የምን ከኔ ለማይረባኝ ነገር ይልቅ ልሂድ አባይን ልሻገር። የምን ከኔ ለማይረባኝ ነገር ይልቅ ልሂድ አባይን ልሻገር። የምን ድንበር ለማይጠቅም ነገር ተያይዘን በፍቅር እንሻገር። የምን ድንበር ለማይጠቅም ነገር።
Okay, so we have this U-shaped already connected, so the next step would be to take the first piece of the back bar, which would be the longer one in this case, and depending on whether you want it on the, if you want the black side or the white side. I want the black one, so just slide these in.
ከወንዝ ወዲያ ማዶ ጉዳይ የነበረህ የኔ ቢጤ አፍቃሪ እንግዲህ ምን
Make sure they all go in all the way, also to the back bar. And the next step would be to take out this one back middle bar. For this one, you would have to add on 2 of the screws with the washers. The next step would be just to take the screws and push these in through the holes, through the slots in the rails, one on the top and one on the bottom. Just push it in all the way until you reach the cardboard piece.
ሙላቱ ካለፈው እፎይ ካለች ሀገር
Push it downwards and make sure the cardboard piece goes inside, and there should be another hole from the top and from the bottom side. And from there, when you see those in place, you should be able to just tighten the screws in place where they should be where they're supposed to fit in. So this is the way technically how it's supposed to look like. So the next step would logically be the second cardboard piece, and just fit that one into the next one.
ምን እንጠብቃለን በወንዝ እንሻገር በሉን ወንዙን እንሻገር
Take the second back side frame and just close these 2 sides with the back cardboard pieces. Okay, we've already put together all the other parts for the outer frame. We just add on these 2 bottom parts for the top piece and put the top piece on the bottom, and next we would have to, the next piece is I believe the most complicated part when assembling the Max 140s. And here we would have to now put the outer frame on the top side to the bottom, and take the frame the way it's supposed to be. The front side of these 140s already comes with these comes with some frame with some screws already attached to it on the inside, and these we will have to connect to these these other bars without where I said first not to add the screws onto. And so now take out these sponge pieces and just move the screws to the center position closest to the empty bars position, and slowly connect the frame to the other parts of the rest piece of the total skeleton.
ከንፈሯን ቅብ ያለው ብሎ ማነገረኝ በግላጭ በስማት ምቻ አጠናገረኝ ህመም ያለ ክፍቴን መቻወቀልኝ ሰው ናፍቆት ነው ጉልበቴን የሚያልፈሰፍሰው ምንድነው ዘመዱን ፈዘዝ ከዚያ ግድም ናንቺን ሞካከር ኩታህን አገልድም ከገጠምን ወዲያን አናውቅም ግልግል አቧራ ውስጥ ይጨስ ወለል ውስጥ ይነግል ነው ድምድም አታሞ ድምድም ድምድም ወደ ጎጃም ግድም ድምድም በወልቃይት ግድም ድምድም ወደ ራያ ግድም ድምድም አታሞ ድምድም ድምድም በል እንግዲህ አገልድም የመንከኔ ለማይረባኝ ነገር ይልቅ ልሂድ አባይን ልሻገር የመንከኔ ለማይረባኝ ነገር ይልቅ ልሂድ አባይን ልሻገር አምባጓሮ ለማይጠቅመን ነገር ተያይዘን በፍቅር እንሻገር አምባጓሮ ለማይጠቅመን ነገር ተያይዘን በፍቅር እንሻገር እህት ወንድሞችሽ የጠላት ማርከሻ አንቺ ዳማከሴ ህመም ማስታገሻ እንግዲህ ወንድምሽ ሀገሩን ካረጋው ልምጣና ስስምሽ ስታክምኝ ላንጋው እንደ ልቤ ሳጣጥምሽ ላንጋው
As you can see, we have finally managed to assemble the entire Max 140, and as I said, the most difficult part are just these screws here on top, and I mean, well, technically this is the bottom side, and these two are there and the one on the bottom there. So the next step would have been just to add on the side windows with this acrylic glass. Before you put those in, I recommend just to take off the plastic on the side just on the edges, and then put these in. It just works the same way with the other 150s and 170s as you've seen on my previous videos. If you haven't, I'll leave a link there. And then the rest is just sort of self-explanatory. Just add on these last bars, as you can see here, and tighten those screws, and you will have been totally done with the whole Max 50, and well, finally just the last cover acrylic glass piece on for the front. Well, that's just it. So I hope today's show was helpful for you in case you want to get one of these Mojicase drawers, and I hope you enjoyed it. So God bless you, God bless our statues, and have a nice day.
ማረማ ያዋንዝ ማረማ ንበላየ ማረማ ማይሳው ማረማ ጦናየ ምኒልክምየ ኒሻን ምልክት ቀልብ መለያየ